What is up, comic book fans? Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us on the Local Comic Podcast. This is a little bit of a public service announcement that what you're getting ready to watch does and will contain spoilers. We are talking about new releases. We are talking about books that have not been out very long, probably. And so if you are reading any of these series that we're talking about, they'll be listed in the description below. And you do not want spoilers, if you're not caught up, just give us a pause, go read that book, and come back and hang out with us. Otherwise, buckle up and let's talk some comics. What is up, comic book fans? Welcome back to the Local Comic Podcast. You are tuned in to the Absolute Show, where we are talking all things Absolute Universe in the DC Universe. And we are back once again. As always, it's me, Travi, TrekWars Comics, with your boy Phil, aka Rebel Recess. How's it going, my man? How was your week?
Things are great. We had a short week at school because of the holiday. It messed me up. I missed Comic Book Wednesday. I thought Wednesday was Tuesday, and Tuesday was not. So I had to right my wrongs there. But overall, pretty good. No complaints here. What about yours?
I totally missed, and I am officially a week behind on comics, so I have to get that order in and this week. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. But I did get a comic.
Uh,
A nice one too. I think you can see it. Hey,
it's so
hey,
pretty.
yeah, Swamp Thing finally came. So cool, so excited.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I've decided officially that I'm going to. I'm out of focus. I have decided officially that I am going to start the Wrightson wall, and I've got a nice little section of wall over here. And so I'm going to try and track down graded copies of the first 10 issues of his Swamp Thing run, all of his covers from that run, and then, probably a facsimile House of Secrets 92.
That works.
That's about the only one in the price range right now. But yeah, thinking about doing all that. I have a perfect little section of wall over here that I'm going to do like a little Bernie Wrightson homage or whatever. So yeah, pretty cool. But
I love good wall space.
yeah,
So to
yeah,
turn into
yeah,
something
yeah.
nice is nice.
Yep. But other than that, yeah, nothing great on the comic front. Oh, we do have to announce that we have a winner from our giveaway this week.
Whoop whoop.
We're first giveaway, and so the winner of the signed Scott Snyder DC All-In Special number 1, featuring the first appearances of Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, was drumroll Black Crown Comics.
Hey.
Hey, Black Crown.
How about that?
Friend of the show. I guess we could officially say that now that we have a podcast. Friend of the show, Black Crown Comics. But yes, no. So yeah, just a FYI, guys, not that many entrants in that. Pretty high chance of winning that sucker. So yeah, get in there, get on the next one, and you might have a good chance of winning the next one. And we're gonna have stuff popping off. We buy variants all the time just to give them away. So always fun, and even some cover A's, even though the Jim Lee one is a variant that we're giving away for subscribers. But anyway, other than that, I ain't got a lot. And believe it or not, this is probably going to be a pretty short episode because we have zero news for you guys today. There's not really much going on. Just some conversation about the upcoming Free Comic Book Day, Big Baddie, some rumors of Gorilla Grodd, but nothing really crazy substantial or anything that we haven't talked about already on this show. Other than that, there is a little bit of news that we'll cover on the release schedule, which is pretty fun. That just kind of popped out recently in the last week or so. It wasn't there before, so that's exciting. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But our only book this week is Absolute Wonder Woman number 4, along with all the other printings that released this week. Absolute Wonder Woman number 4 is the new title that has come out this week. So as always, we're going to tell you, I'm going to put the little warning at the beginning of the podcast and the video. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. This was a insane issue. It was so cool, so awesome, but it's not my week to do Wonder Woman, so I'm going to hand it over to my more than capable compadre right after we go to the rundown. So here we go. All right, man. What happened?
Wonder Woman number 4. Well, what has happened? So we pick up with a little um, sequence where we see two women together. We don't know who they are quite yet, or I didn't at least.
Me neither.
They have a list of the things that Wonder Woman basically said on the telly. Do these things, temporary, what's going to happen, all that stuff, whatever. And then they make like a hug and I guess she's out. And then we quickly see that Steve is Trevor. Is his name Steve Trevor? Is
Mm-hmm.
his name? Yeah, Steve Trevor has brought Diana to these people, and it turns out it is Etta and Gia Candy. And Diana is on the lookout for some witch stuff,
Yep.
and it
Ed,
mainly. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say Etta Candy is a reoccurring Wonder Woman character, but not one that we've seen in a while. So pretty cool to see this absolute universe version of her. We've already seen, and I don't think we mentioned it on the episode that we talked about this issue, but previously she did run into Barbara in the alley, who will obviously, well, we don't know this, but in standard continuity is the cheetah. But we don't know for sure if that's what's going to
Right.
happen. You don't know. These characters are so different from universe to universe, so you don't really know what's going to happen. But yeah, so Etta Candy, reoccurring Wonder Woman character. But yeah, just throwing it out there. But yeah, and as far as I know, I don't think I've never heard of Gia. So I may, and this just might be my Wonder Woman illiteracy, but I've never heard of Gia Candy before. So I do not know if that's a new character or what. So
Yeah, I don't recall it either.
yeah.
But apparently she's a witch, is what the vibes were getting. And I was getting like super Craft vibes, like that movie Craft. I love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie. Not a great movie, but it's a great movie. Because Diana's there to get some witch stuff, and she's coming there to shop.
It's some straight hocus pocus.
She's like, I need this stuff, and like Gina's like, I don't know if we have much. She's like, well, the rare stuff for us, y'all actually have a lot of, I guess. So, um,
What did she
yeah,
say? She didn't have the blood of Hephaestus or
yeah.
something?
I don't
I
think
don't,
we
I don't
got
think we
that.
got that.
Yeah. So they go there's some things that she needs to get it, and we find out she needs it because her robotic arm, I guess, or whatever kind of arm it is not enough to fight this creature. So she's like, I need to conjure a spell and bring my arm back. So luckily, Gia has all the stuff. Then Diana goes into a room, and they're like looking through the curtains or whatever. And then she covers herself in blood, which is great.
Everybody's blood.
Yeah, just blood. Just everything is blood. And then she does her thing and leaves and she gets her arm basically. She steps out. She's got her arm. And then we cut from there to Cersei is like pleading with, and I'm probably gonna say, is it Hecate? Hecate? How you say this name?
I don't know if it's Hecate or
Hecate?
Hecate or Hecate. I don't know. I
I
feel like
have
I feel
no
like
idea.
Hecate is too not Greek, but I
I
could be
think,
wrong.
but it is a god. I believe
It's a
it's the
Greek guy. Yeah, I don't know what the.
of
I'm about to look up the
yeah, I
pronunciation
don't
as
know.
you
I
talk about it.
believe it's the god of magic, which makes sense in this whole scheme of magic and stuff going on. But Cersei's talking, and because basically we know Diana was brought to her in hell. Um, she says she would not betray. But then Hecate, Kate, whatever.
Hecate.
Hecate, there we go.
Hecate.
Hecate.
There
That
you
sounds
go. I
more
looked it up.
Egyptian.
I looked it
Hecate.
up.
Um, so, anyways, she's like, I won't betray you, and he's like, no, you love Diana, you would betray me. And then from that sequence of them talking, it's like a flashback to a younger Diana. She had a dream. Cersei comes in the room. I had a dream too. It's a dream about your future, and basically she said a couple things like she knows her future is going to be hard, but she's going to be important to whatever she's supposed to be doing. But I guess she kind of like fears for her future, I guess, whatever that future will be. And then we come back to our present day Diana as she has gotten that arm back. She is out, and we realize that since she has stopped the creature from calling people to it, the creature's like, bump it, I'm going into the city. It's Godzilla vibes. So, creature's in the city. She goes to get it out of the city. She throws like a little potion, a little ball, and it busts open. And it's like, I don't know how, it's like people are screaming or yelling, no. It's like the hordes that the monster was supposed to bring itself and didn't. She's using it to lure it out. And then the best part of the book happens when she does another spell and her I don't even know what it is. It's a sword giant. It's a cricket bat, but like super. already
It's
big,
sharp.
sharp.
Very sharp.
She makes it the size of a building, and it is enormous. And it's like cool panels, like it's almost like Ant-Man. Like you see it in the air, and you can see like a little bubble of dialogue coming from it. And it's like you can't even see her. And she just straight up slices this thing in half, basically guts coming out and all that type of stuff. Um, and I guess it's dead. It's just that's all we needed to do to begin with, I guess. So she sliced it in half. And then we jump to Washington, D.C., and there's some people sitting there. President, obviously. I don't know who the woman is. Do you know who the woman was? That was.
Is it? I mean,
She was blonde, right?
yeah, Kale.
Yeah, maybe they said the name. I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
think Kale.
Am I? Yeah, I don't know.
Cole. It wasn't Vale, but like Kale.
Vicky Vale?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways,
Oh God, I think it's who's that chick? Um, she's she's a Wonder Woman character.
yeah, I don't know Wonder Woman like that. She's a person.
Yeah,
We'll know more later.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up right
Go
now.
ahead.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're in the White House in the Oval Office, basically.
Veronica.
And
Veronica Kell.
Veronica.
Veronica Kell.
Veronica Vaughn. uh, so they're watching the news. Clearly, they see Wonder Woman has stopped the monster, but then this lady says, "We may have a bigger problem now," which I guess is the lead that they view her as a problem now that she exists in this world, that we know these monsters exist. That's what I was thinking,
Right.
and that was it.
Well,
that was
I think I am. I just looked at it and just kind of saw like the quick synopsis of Veronica Cale. She seems like a Lex Luthor counterpart, so maybe maybe her problem isn't isn't that. Maybe her problem's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, something. It's just.
But it's still absolute. So who knows? It could be anything.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman's alive. She did this. Now the world's gonna be shaken by it. So I guess they gotta figure that out. That was it. This book is very straightforward. I feel like most of these are pretty straightforward, whereas Batman and Superman have a lot more to digest.
Yeah,
these are just pretty straightforward.
I think you're kind of really like. I feel like you're kind of going down like the. The meme of Charlie from It's Always Sunny when he's in the mailroom and he's got all the stuff on the walls and he's like smoking cigarettes and stuff. Yeah, I feel like you really go down that rabbit hole sort of with the other two books, where this one it feels like more like a, not that this is a bad thing in the slightest, but it feels like it's more of a, this is what's happening. And it does do a little bit of jumping, but the jumping is very supportive to the story. It's not a whole lot of, ooh, guess what's around the corner. It's very much like, yo, this is happening.
Yeah, well, until this woman saying there's a problem, a bigger problem, because everything's pretty straight. Like, there's no mystery behind. Really, it's not behind the creature. It's just there, whatever. Yeah. Whereas Batman, you've already been eggs dropped from for about other characters. Superman, you're still wondering what's going on Earth since we've been absent from there. Really,
yeah.
There's a lot of mystery. Where this one's just pretty straightforward. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
We got a big sword. We got a dead horse. There's no mystery here.
Can I say that as I was reading this, it felt so much like, okay, so I don't know if you were actively reading this series or if you were, kind of up on it, but you remember when they created Justice League Dark back in like 2011, 2012, whatever. It was such a cool idea. I loved it. Still love it to this day. It's one of my favorite things. But then when they rebooted it several years later, they rebooted it with Wonder Woman kind of at the helm, right? Like she was like out front of the Justice League Dark, and it's like they've taken some of the like creepy like magic side of things with the Justice League Dark and just folded it into what we already have with Wonder Woman and flipped it on its head. Dude, I love Wonder Woman from the Coven. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, I'm digging it. It's almost, well, it's not the same, but like I'm a big Scarlet Witch fan, so like having that dynamic, I don't know, just adds more to her character, more unique, more things that she's capable of doing. So I'm enjoying it.
Me too. I like it's almost nice to kind of just sit back and enjoy the ride. I think we've talked about that with this book before. Is that it's enjoyable to just sit back and not have to try to piece the threads together right now to really just kind of immerse yourself in the moment of the comic book and immerse yourself in the story as it's happening, instead of constantly being like, what's around the corner, what's coming up next, like what's the next big shoe to drop. I mean, obviously there are things that are going to happen. We've already seen these little teases of, Cheetah and or potentially Cheetah, but and now Veronica Cale apparently. So yeah, I love it for the fact that you can just kind of sit back and just really dig into the story, and it leaves you kind of like very satisfied after each issue. Like, you don't feel like, man, I just read that for absolutely nothing. Like, there's very very much enough to chew on in every issue that you feel really good at the end of it about, like, hey man, this is a fun book. This is a book I want to keep reading. Like, it has not dipped in the slightest bit. It's just crazy because, again, I think if Absolute Superman wasn't if it wasn't for Absolute Superman #3, this is probably above Absolute Superman for me, right? But then, like, Absolute Superman #3, I mean, that single issue was so good for me, and it gave me so much to think about, that, like, I spent much more time digging back into that issue and looking through it than I have even some of the Absolute Batman stuff, because there was so much that happened in that Absolute Superman issue that it was like, this one is really grabbing my attention now, because he's telling so much without actually giving us a whole heck of a lot of what's happening right now. But the biggest interesting thing, I think, for me with this Wonder Woman is, I don't know how powerful, because I don't know how like, whatever Darkseid's plans are, whatever. I don't even know how Darkseid exists in this universe. We haven't seen anything. We know he does exist, obviously, but we haven't seen anything since the All-In Special. But I would imagine that Wonder Woman is going to be a problem for him, and for whatever plans he has. You really get the idea of that, at least.
Yeah, she seems, out of the two characters, the most up on her game right now. So, or like, she knows what she's doing. She's much further along than Bruce is.
Certainly far more along than Cal is too.
Yeah, so I agree with that. She would definitely be a problem for him whenever he comes back. And it's funny you say that, because when was the DC All-In Special? When was that released? Was that November?
October or November,
October.
I think.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much longer are we gonna go till
we start to see these?
Right, March. We know we bring all the new ones in.
October 2nd.
October. Yeah. So we bring all the new ones in, and maybe is that jump start getting back to that or not? Because I am curious to see what they do, and it's been a big gap.
Yeah.
In time.
Yeah, it's almost like it reminds me of when Snyder did the original, when he did his original Batman run, right? The Joker doesn't show up in that until the 15th issue.
Yeah,
and the only way that made any sense to anybody is if you read Tony Daniel's Detective Comics #1 in the New 52, because that's the issue where the Joker cuts his face off. And so, like, if you don't, and that's the only thing that happened in that issue. Like, the whole thing, it builds into that end, and then the Joker is MIA for like 15 issues, and nothing shows up until he comes back with death of the family,
right?
With the the stapled face and the all that stuff, and then obviously
I have a really cool variant cover of that where it's like pulling it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the second printing or something like that. Second printing, third print. It's it's actually one of the better variants to have from that run, I think. But yeah, it's a really cool one. But yeah, that all that happened in Detective Comics in the first issue, and then they don't talk about it again at all.
Right. Well, and it's just But that was such a good book, the All In Special, and you did the two. You brought us the characters for the first time, so I mean, we know there's stuff coming in each series.
And where the hell is the
But when
Legion?
is this right? Like, when is this coming about? And like, we see Snyder, especially I see because I follow him, talk about teases and stuff like that, but no one has mentioned that at all.
Yeah. The only
So
people talking about Darkseid are the fans. That's it.
yeah, very
Everybody wants to
curious.
know. Like,
Yeah,
and the only time that Darkseid has even been remotely teased is in Aquaman #1 when he goes through the portal with the Pearl. That apparently is not new. The Pearl has appeared multiple times in DC's continuity. Apparently, I did some more research on it, and it's appeared several times. I think it appeared in. I could totally be wrong. So people, whoever the 5 people listening to this, please don't come at me too hard. But I think the last time it showed up was in Flashpoint. And I don't remember the what happened with it, but I think the last time it showed up was in Flashpoint, and so it's not a new thing. But this pearl that he's found and that he's taken him through this portal, and that turned into a massive Omega symbol. That's the only thing that we've seen at all that's even been remotely hinting at Darkseid since the All In special, really, literally. So yeah, man, I don't know, but it does seem like where in the main DC continuity, Darkseid always sees Superman as the problem. He's the problem,
right.
right? Like that's my problem right there. I need him out of the picture because he's always going to be a problem. Feels like she might be the problem, or at least a big problem for now. So, which I'm fine with because she's crazy. She's crazy, crazy cool. I love this witch Wonder Woman. This is so cool.
Yeah, and with that big old sword, she can take on anybody.
I think I even put on the thing that says she's doing her best Cloud impression
Yeah,
from Final Fantasy.
yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. Loved the back and forth in the witchy shop, and enjoyed the little comment from Steve and Etta when she said, when you told me all about Diana and everything, and I said there's no way, you got to be blowing it out of proportion. You definitely undersold it. And Steve goes,
Undersold it,
I
yeah.
told you.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Good stuff. So overall, let's just start a scale. I think we should just start a scale, right? On 1 to 5 Omega symbols. How many Omega symbols you giving it?
For this book,
Yeah. This episode. I mean this
uh,
issue, sorry.
we'll go 4.
4,
We'll
solid.
leave a
Yeah.
star.
Yeah, I think I'm doing 4 Omegas as well. So yeah, cool. I'm gonna get a little scale and post and just throw it up there now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
gonna work. Yep. So awesome. Well, other than that, the only other thing we have to cover this week is the release schedule. And with the release schedule, I did say that I would start including new gods because new gods are 100% going to matter at some point here. They're going to matter to all of the DC universe, according to Ram V. And so we're going to talk about that. And this is the only little bit of news that we have. So I just rolled it all into one slide. So starting with next week or this week. Well, no. Yeah, no, not this week. Starting with next week, we have Absolute Superman #4, and that will drop on the 5th of February. Absolute Batman #5 will drop on the 12th of February. And also on the 12th, that's what we spent a lot of time on when we talked about this. That is going to be the re-release day. So if you guys have not grab these books, have not had a chance to catch up, have not had a chance to get the books because of resale value, and look, trust me, nobody knows it more than me, it's a pain. It's hard to buy these books if they're hitting $10-15. It's hard to buy them $20 on release day. I'm looking at you, Peach Momoko. I did it. I did it. I wish I didn't, but I did it.
I did too.
I wanted that book. It's a great cover. I'm not even like I like Peach. I have a lot of her covers, but she's not an artist that I like constantly seek out and grab all the covers.
I don't either, but because of what it was,
Yeah, it was
I
just
knew
so
it would
cool.
be popular.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Galacto with Jeff. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I just went ahead and grabbed it because I knew I wasn't going to get one. So remember the 12th is the day that we're getting the full re-release, and dun da da da, new news. Along with Absolute Batman 1 through 3, the 5th, 3rd, and 2nd printings, Absolute Superman 1 and 2, the 3rd and 2nd printings, Absolute Batman number 5, the 1st printing. Obviously, this one's just coming out that week. Absolute Wonder Woman 1 through 3, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd printings. We are now also getting New Gods number 1, 2nd printing on the same day. So you can actually literally go through the entire series and just about get caught up if you get all of these. I love the cover of New Gods number 1. That's the first picture on the screen here. I absolutely love that cover. It is so cool. So that will go to a second printing. The other little bit of news is on the 19th, we've got New Gods number 2 going to a second printing on the very next week with another really neat cover. And then finally, we get New Gods number 3 also coming out on the 19th. So that will actually get us about almost 3/4 of the way through February. Again, if I'm missing a release on the 29th, I apologize. I'm not sure. I don't have it on here. So if there is a release on the 29th, you guys feel free to correct me in the comments. And speaking of the comments, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We are giving away the Superman, Absolute Superman number 1 Jim Lee variant. It is going to be given away as soon as we hit 50 subscribers. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Get us out there. Share this, please. If you're listening on Spotify, please do the same thing. Share it with your friends. We're just having a lot of fun, and I know that the folks listening are also having a lot of fun, and so we're going to keep doing this as long as you guys want us to, because we're having a good time with it. It's no thing. It's
even if no one listens.
That's
I'm
right.
talking to you, so what does it matter?
It's 40 minutes on a Sunday. Who cares? So yeah, man. So that's all we got. Anything in particular you're looking forward to on the release schedule? I mean, Batman.
I just want more Batman. Just give me all the Batman.
Yep. I mean, personally, I'm looking forward to Superman. I want more of that story, that cliffhanger I hated at the end when it was just like Martha with no kids but wanting her son to come home. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, who is that? All that other stuff. So I'm wanting to see more of that. Wanting to see what happens there. I trust Jason Aaron. I know it's going to be fine. Dude is he's one of the best storytellers we got right now. So, and so I think that it's very safe to say that the Absolute Universe is in good hands right now. I don't know how long Scott will go with Batman. I don't know. I don't know that there's a guarantee. I mean, if there is, I've missed it. I don't think he's planning on running it the full time. He'll obviously probably hand it over. I don't think he'll go 52 like he did with his original Batman run. That was a marathon of a run. So
long run.
Yeah, I mean, not Tom King long, but long. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I know that he'll stay on, and I think he wants to stay on in a consulting and advisory role for the entire universe, and so that's good because it'll keep the vision together for a while. And I'm sure Josh Williamson will have plenty to do with that as well too. I think the weirdest thing that I've seen so far is that. Unless I'm missing something, we haven't gotten Josh Williamson on a single Absolute book at all yet. So it makes me wonder, when's he coming in? Are we getting an Absolute Justice League and he's going to handle that one? Because this whole thing is him and Scott. So I don't know. I mean,
that makes sense. The Absolute Justice League. Maybe that's what we're waiting for before we get to Darkseid stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's the other. I mean, he's the other kind of say what you want. I mean, he is kind of been in charge of a lot of DC's biggest books over the last couple of years. So, I would just expect with the work he did with Scott on the All In special that and I he might be writing the full-time Justice League on the other side. I'm not actually reading it right now, so I'm not sure who's writing it right now. It might be him. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, but yeah, so maybe that's why. Maybe they had Scott write the Absolute half, and then Josh write the Prime Universe half. I guess if we're still calling it the Prime Universe, I don't even know what we call it now. yeah, so I would sort of expect him to be involved here at some point, if not already, in some capacity. But it would be interesting to see what they do going forward. But yeah, I'm excited. I actually got my copies of New Gods 1 and 2 this past week and cracked into those and read them some more. I had read them previously digitally. And it was nice to actually hold it in your hands and kind of look at the art right in front of you, kind of like that, and not on not on like an app or whatever. So it's nice. But yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to add to the release schedule?
No, I think that's it. I'll see what Lefteros has for me to pick up this week. And remember, it's Wednesday, and I miss it.
Yeah. I remember you texted me and you were like, "Man, I forgot it's Wednesday." I completely
was
missed
disheveled. I was like, "What am I doing? Every book I was gonna get is gonna be gone." But I only wanted was that Wonder Woman and then the Momoko cover. So
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Brutal. Well, I said it was going to be a short episode, and I did not disappoint. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all we got. It was a short episode today. I'm sure there's probably some news deep down somewhere on the
Can
old.
you hear the baby crying? Sorry, can you hear the baby crying?
Not really.
Yeah, you can hear the baby crying.
Yeah, I heard it once. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
There he is.
I don't know why he's
Hey.
crying. Baby's just crying.
That's all right. That's what they do. That's what they do. We're family men. We're used to it.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh man! All right. Well, other than that, we don't really have a whole lot to cover. If we missed any news that's important, please let me know. Please comment below. That way, we'll try and touch on that next time. So yeah, what you got going this week? Tell everybody what you're doing.
Nothing special. Let's see what I got. Oh, I didn't tell you this. So for the people out there who love movies and stuff, so I finally cracked, and I made a Letterbox account. Because everyone's been like, make one. And so, but like the OCD in me is like, well, if I'm going to make one, I have to add every movie I've ever seen. I can't just start it like I've never seen movies before. So that's all I've been doing all weekend when I've had time. And I've inputted over 1,700 movies, I think. I don't review all of them. I just do reviews of a couple. I do the ranking or whatever. It's out of 5 stars. I wish it was out of 10. Whatever. That's what I'm doing this week in my spare time, inputting movies and properly ranking them. You can follow me on Letterboxd at Phil Daddy. I don't know how you find it because I'm new to this, but it's Phil Daddy.
Phil Daddy.
That's my Letterboxd.
Phil Daddy.
And I just reviewed Wolfman. I saw Wolfman yesterday.
Was it scary?
Nothing scary. I mean, this is not scary. No, it's not.
On.
Okay, to me as a horror person, like this is not. It was not scary.
Yeah. Don't forget who you're talking to.
Yeah, it wasn't scary.
Yeah, it was probably terrifying.
No,
it was probably terrifying.
Nah.
I'm over it. If anybody doesn't know, I'm actually have some super PTSD from scary video games as a child, and horror stuff really scares me. Some of it I really enjoy. It just depends.
Resident Evil Director's Cut on PlayStation was the start of my horror fandom, probably.
Resident Evil 2 was the end of mine.
God, it's so good.
The funny thing is going back and looking at it with the graphics, I was like, why was I scared of this? But I was scared, and
that zombie in the first one for the first time is
when they busted
so
the glass.
Creepy and scary. Well, no, in the first one.
In the first one,
mansion,
right?
It goes around the corner and you see him eating, and then his head turns like.
And
I'll never forget that moment.
And you try to run away, and you get stuck on the wall.
Oh my lord, those angles. That's still great. So, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, as far as me, man, all I got this week is obviously going to be doing the right thing at Cover Price. I will actually be, again, this drops on Tuesday, so it doesn't matter that I say this, but I will be on Black Crown Comics channel tonight on Sunday, doing some put me in coach moments and jumping in there. Yeah, should be a good time. It's always fun over there on that channel, and we will be having Lando from Black Crown on this show at some point. I know he's excited about doing that, and he's been wanting to get on there. So we will have him on here, and you never know, you might even see Phil pop over there here one of these nights for the weekly comic wrap up. So a lot of stuff going on. I'll be at Cover Price doing my thing. You'll see that on the Thursday Shaker show. You will also see the article come out on Friday on the website, coverprice.com. That is Cover Price without an E, so COVRPRICE.com. Other than that, follow our channel. Follow us on Spotify. Follow Rebel Recess. all that good stuff, man.
I finally got to be Godzilla today in Fortnite.
Did you?
Did a little stream this morning,
Yeah.
and I finally got to be Godzilla. So
Nice.
highlight of my day.
I was a super sucker and bought the battle pass on Rivals just for skins.
Good
So
for
yeah,
you.
I'm that guy
You're
now.
in it now.
I'm in
You're
it now. I am financially involved now. This is not good. Not good. I'm buying Peach Momoko covers for $65,000 now, and no, I'm not. No way. But it was $20 on release day. It might as well be the same thing.
God, that's brutal.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're gonna keep it short. 35 minutes, rock and roll. So, as always, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow. I know I've said that 100 times, but it is really important. It keeps us doing this. It keeps us bringing up new things. I want the conversation to happen. I want people to tell us, hey, let's talk about this. Hey, can you bring up this? Or tell us what you found. I know on the giveaway this week, we had people comment what their favorite series was so far and got a nice mixture. A lot of Batman, but we got some Superman sprinkled in there too. And so I know for a fact that some people's favorites have been Wonder Woman as well. People have really been digging Wonder Woman, and they really should be, because it's been a great series. And so really cool. So a lot coming up. We get one more normal month in February, and then everything blows up and the whole universe doubles. So getting ready for March. It's about to get wild. So yep. So without further ado,
we're gonna have 2 books on a release date most likely.
Yep.
We'll have.
Yep. Hopefully,
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness, and hopefully that depending on how we do it, we probably want to look at the schedule. One of us might be doing 2 reviews on the same show.
It's gonna be crazy.
So anyway, but yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening. If any, if there's anything you want to hear us talk about, you want to bring up, you want to hear us discuss, just reach out. You can find me on Instagram at TrekWars Comics. You can find my guy over here at Rebel. Is it .recess on Instagram?
Sure. Yeah, go with that.
Yeah, rebel.recess. Yeah, rebel.recess on Instagram as well. Follow us on YouTube, and yeah, just reach out. We're not mean. We're actually pretty nice. So we'll chat with you. But anyway, everybody have a great week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to the Local Comic Podcast. Peace out. Have a great week.
Later.